His family was full of loyal generals. Their descendant. Yet he forced forbidden tattoos on them. Buddha on Grandpa's chest. Naja on his back. Guan Yu on Dad's arms. Black dragons on his legs. Even his long-deceased grandma was dug up, tattooed with a third eye, and reburied. I covered my own body with heaven and hell, because soon the blood moon will arrive. Plants and animals will evolve wildly. In just one single night, half the world's population will vanish. Survivors will be shocked to find that their own tattoos give them incredible godlike power. Those with Dao Chen tattoos summon Lu Bu to dominate the land. Those with killing tattoos protect entire cities with mystical clouds. In my past life, my family was the top clan in the nation. But because no one had tattoos, they only survived for a few days. Now, in the Chen family meeting room, a plaque hangs prominently on the wall. National Hero, House of Martyrs. Seeing this plaque, even a thief would salute before leaving. Even stray dogs would march past it. But today, a roar fills the hall. Qinju, say that again. What are you doing? My father Qin Jun roars in rage. Tears fill my eyes. Facing the shocked Qin family, I say slowly, I want tattoos. And the whole family must get them with me. Old Grandpa trembles with rage. Today is your uncle's party. Your brother got into the top college. We are all here to celebrate. Father points at me angrily. You used to be reckless. A total slacker. I thought you were just immature. But here and now, Qinju, you've gone too far. Tattoos are for thugs. The Qins are a family of heroes, pure of heart and soul.
In this righteous city of Jiangcheng,
You dare mention tattoos, and, want the whole family to get them? Father, if hitting me makes you agree, then do it. I stand straight as a pine, my eyes burning with fire, even with tears in my eyes. I want this so badly. The Qins must get tattoos. Father freezes, belt in hand.
he's never seen me like this.
Brother, stop hitting him. Uncle smiles slowly over his tea. Qinju is just joking with us. I shake my head. I want Grandpa to get one too. As soon as I say that, Qinjun completely loses it. He lashes the belt hard across my back. If you can take 100 hits, I'll do whatever you want. I smile. It's just physical pain. Better than seeing my father's corpse. Stop. It hurts. Brother, stop it. Ju is still young. Qinjun, don't you dare hit my grandson again. Grandpa bangs his cane on the floor. Father keeps hitting and yelling. I'm teaching him a lesson. Stay out of it. As he keeps going,
He eases up his strength a bit.
I've been hit plenty before, so I should pass out soon. But I keep a calm smile, enduring every single lash, noticing him slowing down. I look up and smile. Dad, that's 53. Fine, a full 100 hits. Qinjun is drenched in sweat. If you hit my grandson again, you'll be the death of me. Grandpa roars in anger. I turn and smile. Grandpa, promise me, okay? Get a full back tattoo of Huang Zhong. He's a legendary hero. It's not embarrassing. I promise. I promise. Just apologize to your dad. Stop hitting him. Ignoring the sharp pain, I take all 100 lashes. Dad, you promised. I stand there bloody and battered, smiling like a winner. My tough father is completely stunned. I grab his and Grandpa's arms and head straight outside. I've planned it all out. Grandpa, you get Huang Zhong and Buddha on your chest. Tattoos on both arms. Guan Yu and black dragons. Right as we leave the house, I suddenly feel a surge of beastly strength behind me. I look back. Father stands there with a grim face. This farce ends now. Father glares at me. I didn't want to shame you in front of them. That's why I came out. Now, this is over. I take a deep breath. Father, you still don't believe me? My gaze turns cold. I walk toward him. Dad, Grandpa, I have to tell you something. Facing my father's back, I whisper, I can see the future. Besides the truth, I have no other choice. To make a tough, logical soldier, get a tattoo. Even after 300 lashes, he would still say no. Predicting the future is my only play. It's 2:30 p.m. right now. In 3 minutes, the Waxia building will collapse. I grab Father's arm, saying calmly, Father, 3 minutes, what is this? I have no time for this nonsense. He tries to pull away, but finds that I, usually weak, have a grip like iron today. He frowns deeply. Grandpa stands there dazed. I show my phone to my father. As the countdown ends, the news starts playing immediately. Breaking news report. Just moments ago, the Waxia building has collapsed. Over 3,000 victims estimated. Rescue teams are on site. Father goes silent. Fear fills his stiff face. Chinju, you brat. Just to get us tattooed. Did you bomb that building? Have you lost your mind? I'm speechless. What an imagination. I didn't plan to bomb. I can just see the future. Like a grim judge. I say, at 3 p.m., a cattle stampede up north. At 4 o'clock, a massive earthquake. At 5 p.m., the lottery will be 715. At 6 o'clock, the government says, the nation is on high alert. Father's eyes go from shock to utter confusion. He finally swallows hard. Over the next few hours, will you wait with me, Dad? To see if these come true? Father is silent for a moment.
He brings a chair for Grandpa.
I know he's listening now. You better not be trying to fool me, or I'll beat you back to your mother's womb. He threw out a sharp warning, clutching the military radio tightly, standing off to the side. Even if I lied to the whole world, I never lied to you or Grandpa. I gave a faint smile. All right, let's wait then. Time ticked away, second by second. Dad gripped his watch. Sweat kept pouring from his palm. His heartbeat was shockingly heavy. Geez, look at you, sweating all over. Can you relax a bit? Just like your old man here. Grandpa rocked in his chair.
He chuckled and spoke.
Xiaoju wants to play with us, so let him play. As long as he didn't plant a bomb in Warsaw Tower, it's fine. I glanced at my watch. The first planned time hit right on schedule. This is the station's reporter. The voice from the military radio was spot on. A massive cattle stampede broke out in the northern grasslands. All the cattle and sheep have gone wild. They're attacking the locals. Authorities have organized armed forces. They're on their way to the northern grasslands. A loud clatter. Dad slammed the radio hard on the ground. Parts shattered everywhere. He looked up at me. His eyes were blank and stunned. Grandpa shot up from the lounge chair. He stared wide-eyed at me. His face was full of disbelief. Should we keep waiting? I asked. Dad gritted his teeth, his voice heavy. Wait, if I find out. You went north and drugged the cattle. I'll ruin you. I didn't argue. Time will prove everything. Dad brought over another radio. This time even Grandpa was tense, standing nervously, staring right at the radio, waiting for the next time slot. At exactly 4 p.m., breaking news aired again. This is the station's 4 p.m. report. A magnitude 7 earthquake hit Linjiang City. The affected area is about 300,000 square kilometers. Around 3.2 million people were impacted. The top department has already sent rescue teams. Dad's eyes turned red. He growled through his teeth. Good for you. Didn't think you'd spend a fortune to buy earthquake info from the Geology Bureau. Just to trick me. I shook my head helplessly. Just said, keep going. At 5, the lottery channel announced the numbers. The announcement came through clearly. Finally, the most exciting moment arrived. The grand prize winning number is 7. Dad's eyes turned completely bloodshot. He glared at me and yelled, be honest now. Where'd you get the money to bribe the lottery chief? Where's your winning ticket? Take it out. I couldn't help but give him a thumbs up. Dad, your imagination is wild. Don't rush. Let's wait for the big event at 6. At this point, both Dad and Grandpa looked shaken, their eyes full of shock. Their rock-solid beliefs had collapsed. They now looked at me with a hint of fear, still pretending to be calm on the outside, even idly cracking some sunflower seeds. Only my eyes revealed unshakable confidence. Those unforgettable disasters from my past life. Their timing is my strongest hand. It's almost 6 p.m. Sweat kept dripping from Dad's palm. He was at maximum tension. Grandpa quickly grabbed his heart meds. He swallowed 2 pills. Finally calmed his racing heart. 6 o'clock sharp. The radio broadcasted a stern military announcement. National military notice. It is now issued. Top department military order. All military nationwide, return to base immediately. National Level 1 war alert is active. Repeating. This time, Dad didn't yell anymore. He just stared at me like I was a monster. His voice was shaking. Zhao Zhu, how did you know about all this ahead of time? I can see the future. I saw it from the future. I spoke word by word. My tone was firm. Dad, who's always tough and decisive, now couldn't even form a full sentence. He knew in his heart. Forget the son. Even someone in his official position would never know about the nation's top secret war alert in advance. Everything in front of him was way beyond normal. Wind rustled the leaves. Grandfather and grandson stood frozen, completely stunned. So, this is why I insist you two get tattoos with me. My eyes instantly filled with tears. The memory of our tragic family death came rushing back. My tone turned heated and intense. Tomorrow at noon, there will be a worldwide evil invasion. Cities or towns, underground or ocean, everywhere will become piles of corpses and seas of blood. The top department issued a war alert because they sense the global crisis, but the higher-ups don't know. This isn't a battle between people. It's the world itself going wrong. In that apocalypse, only those with tattoos will have the power to fight the evil. I watched helplessly as our loyal Qin family ended up with everyone dying tragically. So what if you got into Tsinghua or Peking University? Can that keep you alive? So what if you have a government job? Can that keep your loved ones safe? I don't care about any of that. I only want you both alive. Really alive. I want you to tattoo an alert Guan Yu on both arms, Black Dragon Lord on both legs, Flaming Huangjong across your back, and Yo cubing on your chest, dragging my still-dazed dad and grandpa. I went straight to Master Zhou, the national tattoo artist. We walked into his elegant villa living room. I looked at Master Zhou's stunned expression. I spoke helplessly. Master Zhou, I'm serious. It's not just me getting tattooed. My dad and grandpa are too. Master Zhou gulped. He turned to Grandpa. Old Chen, are you out of your mind? Dad and Grandpa snapped back to reality, looking at me with complicated expressions. Grandpa simply took off his striped old shirt, took a deep breath. Yeah, let's do it. Start now, no stalling. I know what you're capable of, Zhou Jianghe. Master Zhou was utterly stunned, kept waving his hands. I'm not doing it.
Out.
Out of your mind? Qinjun, take your dad and go. Zhou Jianghe, I order you to tattoo us. Grandpa suddenly stood up, radiating the power of an old war veteran. His white brows stood up, tiger eyes fixed on Master Zhou. In all the 50-plus years they've known each other, this was the first time Grandpa got this mad. Seeing this, Master Zhou sighed softly. He knew it wasn't simple. He had to give in. I instantly took out the pro tattoo gear, then took out a knife and made a cut on my arm, caught the blood in a bowl and handed it to Master Zhou. Said seriously, tattoo with blood. Grandpa nodded in agreement. Old Zhou shook his head helplessly. He's lost it. Seriously, that's crazy. Jiang Cheng's spiritual icon just lost his dignity today. Old Zhou really deserves the title of National Master. Regular tattoo artists need 5 to 6 hours to finish a full back Huangjong. He did it in just 1 hour. The lines are sharp and lifelike. Grandpa stood up, his scarred, old back covered in bullet and knife wounds, with a giant bow in hand. Old General Wang Zhong looked fierce and heroic, blood surging. You could feel the killing aura pouring out. Grandpa's whole vibe changed instantly, from a gentle old man to a battlefield veteran with natural authority. Dad, it's your turn. Dad lay down, looking complicated. He let out a heavy sigh. No one would have guessed. A righteous first-class sergeant would willingly get a tattoo. The pain of the needle piercing the skin came through. Old Zhou was totally focused. He began outlining a fierce black dragon, bit by bit on Dad's leg. Every stroke was pin-sharp. I watched, full of anticipation. In my previous life, all I could create with corpse blood were twisted patterns. Now, with a top master handling it, these divine tattoos will be way more powerful than I'd imagined. After Dad's tattoo was finished, Old Zhou wiped his sweat and looked at me. You little brat, what do you want to tattoo? Heaven and the underworld. I answered calmly. What? Old Zhou instantly got up in shock. On my chest, the Nei Bridge, Yellow Springs, and Red Spider Lilies. Oxhead and Horseface Spirits. Soul Collector. The Underworld Judge. The 10 Yama Kings. King Fengdu. And Kitigarba Bodhisattva. On my back, Michael, Gabriel, Thrones, Seraphim. Old Joe's face changed dramatically. He tried hard to stop me. You're insane. All these are taboo among tattoo artists. Normal people can't handle it. If your destiny's too weak, you'll have issues within 7 days. I chuckled softly. In the coming apocalypse, taboos don't matter. Being covered in taboos is true power. Old Joe, I'm counting on you. Old Joe sighed deeply. In the end, he still picked up his tattoo pen. He knew these divine and underworld images were the top forbidden tattoos in the industry. No ordinary person would ever try. But the Chin family in front of him was clearly determined. I knelt down on the floor, showing my back, tight muscles hinting at strength. Even Dad's eyes widened. He never expected his seemingly weak son actually had a body to rival a war hero. Giant white wings of the holy angel spread across my back. Archangels splitting to both sides, all emanating majesty. From chest to abdomen, the Nei bridge crosses the yellow springs. The red spider Layla bloomed brightly. Oxhead, Horseface, and the black and white messengers, all watching over their duties. Tenyama King seated above, with King Fengdu exuding endless power in the depths, and a Kittigarbha Bodhisattva sitting beside him, carrying the vow that hell won't empty. Until he's reached Buddhahood, looking at myself in the mirror, I'm completely satisfied. This tattoo set is the power-up I've planned since my rebirth. The underworld system is clearly ranked, from low to high, progressing step by step. It's good for early stages. The heaven system is top-tier combat power, saved as my ace in the hole. As long as I gather enough ghost energy, I can awaken all these divine powers one by one. That's how I'm going to survive the apocalypse. Old Joe collapsed on the sofa in exhaustion. I didn't bother him anymore. I respectfully left with Dad and Grandpa. On the way back, Grandpa suddenly said seriously, I have to go to the capital. I must report this to the top authorities. Dad nodded firmly. That's right. The Chin family is loyal through generations. We can't hide the truth. Hopefully, we're not too late. I reached out to stop them. Both of them spoke calmly but firmly. It's too late. Let's protect our family first. Nonsense. Dad's eyes widened sharply. He shouted sternly, I'm a first-class military officer in Daxia. It's my duty to defend the country. Get out of my way. Grandpa also looked serious. Son, the Chin family won't just stand aside. The country has treated us well. I can't just watch and do nothing. Knowing Grandpa and Dad's stubborn ways, there's no persuading them. I could only put on a stern face and said with no room for discussion, It's 10 p.m. right now. You have to be back before noon tomorrow. Yes, no discussion. Got it. Damn, you never stop nagging. Dad waved with his back turned. Grandpa and I will call the whole family. From now on, everyone in the Chin family listens to you. You must keep them safe and wait for us to get back. Meanwhile, the Chin family's main hall was still chaotic, with all 5 branches gathered together, full of chatter. Dad's older cousin, Chin Anan, the leader of a branch, looked annoyed. He shouted harshly, What the hell is Chinju up to? Did he actually take Grandpa to get a tattoo? Chin Guo, call your brother and ask. Uncle was about to pull out his phone, when it suddenly rang first. Dad's voice came on speaker, echoing clearly through the room. Hey, second brother. I'm Chin, passing on Dad's decision. When Chinju gets home, everyone in the Chin family follows his command. That's it. I have things to do. Hanging up now. See you all home tomorrow. The room turned silent. Then everyone exploded. Chin Anan's face turned stormy. He kept calling Dad's phone, but it was always busy. He's gotten cockier thanks to Linjiang's power, and been tired of the Jiangcheng main family's control. He came to today's graduation banquet, hoping for a showdown and a power grab.
Now.
He just ripped off the mask. Right then, a heavy truck rumbled outside the ancestral house. A 50-ton red truck pulled up straight at the family gate. The window rolled down. I looked coldly at the hall, my voice icy and sharp, echoing through the crowd. All Chin family men, come with me to Fufang City to haul grain. Second uncle shuddered all over. Right now, my gaze was icy and fierce, nothing like my usual laid-back self. Instead, I looked just like those ruthless bosses from Longjiang, radiating a powerful aura. A young man in a black tuxedo strolled out. It was Qin Annan's son, Qin Wei. He looked at me, Qin Ju, with a mocking smile. What's that supposed to mean? Didn't expect the Qin family to have a truck driver, huh? I lowered my eyes indifferently. Just said 4 words. Get lost right now. Qin Wei's face turned dark red. He turned to Qin Annan for help. Qin Annan didn't even look up and said dismissively, Wei, why bother arguing with Chen's family's loser? Second uncle frowned. He spoke sharply at Qin Annan. You call Zhao Ru a loser? So what if I did? Qin Annan stood up. He glanced around the room, completely full of contempt. I was going to come clean at the banquet. But since Grandpa and Qin Jun are back tomorrow, I'll say it now, pass this on to Qin Guo for me. Don't think you're all that just because you donated some money and made some connections. Stop acting like some do-gooder. And all of you here, pretending to be all righteous. Totally fake. Qin Annan casually tossed an auction agreement onto the table. Slapped it right down. Look closely. I own the development land in Linjiang High-Tech Zone now. From now on, I'm the king of Linjiang. Honor and virtue won't get you rich. I, Qin Annan. The Qin family from now on. If you want to wait here and die, stay. Who wants to come with me? The rich route is your choice. He glanced sideways at me by the door. Didn't even bother to lift his eyelids. What a waste a tiger like Qin Jun ended up with a useless son like this. What a joke. As soon as he finished, a few clan members hesitated, then got up and walked to Qin Annan, shamelessly flattering him. Qin Wei lifted his chin too, shooting me a proud, disdainful look. His eyes screamed spoiled rich kid contempt. A show-off like him wouldn't last 3 days in the apocalypse. I couldn't care less about that. I went straight to open the heavy truck door, lowered my eyes, and quietly walked into the ancestral home. Anyone else leaving or not? I asked sharply. Total silence in the hall. Nobody replied. I nodded slightly, then grabbed an iron bar thick as my forearm from the corner. No hesitation, I smashed it down hard on Qin Annan. A dull bang echoed out. Qin Annan's face turned purple instantly. The huge shock sent him stumbling to the ground.
He glared up at me,
eyes full of disbelief and rage. I crouched down, my voice cool but with a clear threat. Qin Annan, you want to walk out or should I beat you out? Your call. Qin Annan wanted to explode. But when he met the killing intent in my eyes, he instantly broke out in a cold sweat. That's the look of someone who's seen real blood and death. You can't fake that. He forced his anger back down. Didn't dare act up again. What are you looking at? Look again and I'll break your legs. I coldly leaned toward Qin Wei on the side. This bully instantly shrank his neck. Didn't dare act cocky anymore. Scenes from my previous life flashed by. It was these father and son. Back then, they took half of the Qin family's power and assets. Left us short of food and resources in the early chaos. We barely held on. Now it's happening again. I'll never repeat those mistakes. I gave off a cold, powerful vibe. I said clearly and firmly, you want to leave, leave with nothing. Who the hell are you? Qin Annan started to roar. And again bang. The iron bar smashed down on the blue brick at his feet. The hard stone split right away. Chunks flew everywhere. My eyes flashed fiercely. The pressure was overwhelming. Qin Annan instantly shut up. He's all about benefits. Knew he couldn't win by force. Besides, his main assets are in Linjiang. Leaving Jiangcheng with nothing doesn't hit him much.
He gritted his teeth and agreed.
Fine, you win. I turned my head, looking at the clan members who took Qin Annan's side. The corners of my mouth curled up coldly. All their properties are here in Jiangcheng. Totally different from Qin Annan. You guys leave with nothing too. I said flatly. Someone started shouting in protest right away. But before he finished, I smashed his leg with the iron bar. He howled in pain and crashed to the floor. My ruthless action stunned every Qin clan member. Gone is the lazy old Qin Ju. Now my word is law here. My mom twirled the iron bar and said calmly, Not happy? Go talk to my grandpa. Don't forget, from now till noon tomorrow. I'm the Qin family head. Every clan member shivered, faces full of shock, until second uncle confirmed it. Everyone finally had to accept the truth. I had second uncle bring out the family record on the spot. Spoke with a deep voice, if you want to leave. We draw a clear line from now on. Qin family register. You don't deserve your name in it. Second uncle hesitated, wanting me to discuss with dad and grandpa. I looked at him, eyes firm. Second uncle, do you trust me this once? Second uncle was silent for a moment, then turned to get the register. He tore out the trader's pages himself. Papers flew through the air. As I coldly declared, from now on, old Qin family of Jiangcheng has no more of you. Get out! Qin Anan left, utterly humiliated, and coldly abandoned those followers. They shouted threats as they left, but I just waved the iron bar, and they ran out quick. All Qin family men come with me to Fufeng City for grain. Now no one dared disobey. All the strong young men jumped up to help. Before, Qin Anan acted all high and mighty, and rules kept everyone scared and silent. This time my heart stands. Finally let everyone vent their anger. They felt even happier inside. Sunset rose up. The Fufeng City granary was blazing with lights. The red truck's cargo bay was steadily filled up. I sat in the driver's seat checking our family roster, counted up everyone, made sure we had enough food for the whole family for half a year, felt a bit more at ease. Second uncle was drenched in sweat, came over and pressed me for answers. He had already guessed from dad's phone call and all the background noise. Something was wrong, figured it might be a famine. I was about to answer, when 7 or 8 phones in my pocket started ringing at once. Partners calling. On the other end, they reported in turn. 30 top tattoo artists have arrived in Jiangcheng. The custom tang swords are all finished. The best tattoo tools have been bought. All sorts of beast blood are being prepared. I gave one order. Everything must arrive by noon tomorrow. Hung up the call. Looked at stunned second uncle. Said seriously, no time to waste. Next stop, the hospital. Buy all kinds of medicine. When we got back to the Qin family home, it was late. In front of everyone, I took off my shirt, showing my whole body covered in tattoos of gods and underworlds. Ignored everyone's shock, picked up a tattoo pen and slowly traced my throat. This is the Eye of Reincarnation, a top-tier rune I learned in a past life. It absorbs ghost energy within 10 meters automatically. The higher the level, the wider the range. Others kill monsters. I absorb the energy. It's the best survival rune in the apocalypse. After finishing the eye, I picked up a dagger and slowly carved cuts around my eyes. My blood-red eyes looked deadly. That's the blood eye totem. From an ancient Mayan ruin. I died for it in my last life. This time I'm carving it early. It is a blood-red eye totem from an ancient Mayan ruin. I died for it in my last life, but this time I'm getting it done early. Even though I don't know all the effects yet, it's still another card up my sleeve. My clan watches me, seeing how ruthless I've become. Their eyes gradually fill with deep awe. I hand out the tattoo designs I've prepared. I order 30 tattoo artists to start working at once. Everyone gets the same tattoo. The order instantly causes a huge uproar, full of resistance. I glare fiercely. A deadly aura bursts out around me, silences everyone on the spot. Right now, I'm the head of the Qin family. The tattoos I picked for them are all easy and focused on survival. On the chest, common generals from the 3 kingdoms. On the back, symbols like the black tortoise for defense. Perfect for the start of the apocalypse. Quick awakening and protection of their lives. After all, at first, my clan has 0 fighting experience. Surviving is the priority. The ancestral home soon reeks of blood. Many clan members cry their eyes out, feeling they've disgraced the family. But I know this is saving their lives. In my last life, the main branch stayed true to themselves until death. Never betrayed anyone. Family like this is worth protecting with everything I've got. When all the tattoos are done, it's already 5 a.m. Just 7 hours left until the apocalypse hits at noon. I'm holding 2 dragon scale tang swords, sitting upright in front of the ancestors' memorial tablets, covered in tattoos with a chilling blade aura. My presence is intimidating. Second uncle sighs, touching his Huazhong tattoo. He asks why. I rise to my feet. My gaze is fierce. I address everyone in the clan with a deep voice. Reveal the truth about the apocalypse. 7 hours left. Noon, 12 o'clock. A global catastrophe is coming. Ghosts and monsters will flood the world. Only those with blood tattoos and divine markings can fight them. That's why I forced everyone to get tattoos and stock up on supplies. Clan members look totally stunned. Everyone is fired up. I slam my tongue sword on the floor. Instantly quiets the room. After mentioning Dad and Grandpa rushed to Beijing overnight to hand over family leadership. No one can say a word. They start to believe me more. 5 hours left. I'll teach you all the 7 slashes with the Tang sword. This sword technique is made for fighting ghosts. Even if you have to memorize it, carve it into your mind. I hold my Tang sword, personally demonstrating each move, guiding everyone throughout. Clan members who've never handled weapons are clumsy, but none dare to slack off. 5 hours pass in a flash. They barely grasp the basics. Only 2 hours left until disaster strikes. Everyone stayed up all night. They're exhausted. I'm the only one still tense, waiting for that moment. Suddenly, an emergency news broadcast interrupts on TV. Daxia announces nationwide special readiness. Military is stationed in towns, keeping the public calm. Everyone watches the news, totally shocked. Now they fully believe what I said. But deep down I smirk coldly. Grandpa and Dad still couldn't get the nation to fully believe. The monster invasion. Modern weapons are useless against non-carbon monsters. Only cold weapons and divine markings are the key. Right then, my phone suddenly rings. It's Dad calling. I answer. After listening to Dad, my face turns grim. Anger and coldness mix in my eyes. Even second uncle beside me feels the chilling aura. Chinju, I am from the Qin Army Division. They're inviting us for tea. But really they want to lock us up and interrogate us. We can't come back just yet. You have to take care of things at home. If possible, Grandpa and I will try to get back. Dad speaks super fast, sounding urgent. I can hear loud knocking through the phone, plus clear echoes from the space. It's obvious. He's hiding in a bathroom or another sealed, quiet room, risking it to secretly call me. A sudden clap. My grip on the phone tightens. Knuckles turn white. Raging murderous intent floods my chest. The No. 2 leader of the highest department, the King Division. This selfish, stubborn old man. Last life, it was his reckless order. Sent 1 million elite troops to fight monsters head-on, causing the whole army to die. Daxia's national strength collapsed fast and ultimately, billions fell into hell. I close my eyes slowly, hold back my surge of rage. When I open them again, only cold determination remains. This time, I can't worry about distant Jingdu for now. Grandpa is a national hero. The King Division won't go too far. The urgent task is to protect our Qin family. Survive the Ghost Palace at noon. What's wrong? Second uncle looks worried. He waves his hand in front of me. I snap out of it and walk straight to Grandpa's main seat. My face is icy cold. I issue orders firmly. Right now, I'm the Qin family head. Qin Feng, Qin Jin, Qin Shan, Qin Shu. The 4 of us shut all entrances to the house right now. Guard every door tightly. Qin Zian, Qin Hu, Qin Long, Qin He. Gather all women, children, and elders in the main hall. You 4 guard the east, south, west, and north. Report any unusual activity at once. After everything that's happened, my decisive ways have already won everyone over. No one resists me now. Everyone moves quickly. It's getting close to noon outside. Normally, sunlight would be bright, but now dark clouds cover the city. Heavy clouds hang darkly across the sky. There's an eerie, oppressive feeling. My clan stares at the scene, all looking tense. Every last doubt evaporates from their hearts. The clock ticks loudly. Each sound feels like a blow to the heart. Finally, the clock strikes noon right on time. I murmur quietly. Next second, lightning bursts from the black clouds outside. Thunder rolls, deafening. Clouds churn wildly, clawing and writhing. At the same time, the fresh blood marks around my eyes start bleeding again. Thin red lines wrap around my eyes, creating real blood-red eyes. I feel no pain at all. Instead, my whole body shudders. I dash madly to the window, keeping a death grip on the windowsill. Veins pop out, staring wide-eyed outside. My face changes dramatically, filled with shock like never before. The clan panics when they see me. Everyone freaks out. They keep asking me what's happening, but I ignore them. In my sight appear horrors I never saw in my previous life. Behind the thick black clouds hang countless giant beasts. Even at a distance, I can see them clearly. A massive eye covered in blood, with mountain-sized white wings, coldly looking down at us. There's a fish-headed giant bigger than the sun, steeped in death. Its presence suffocates. There's also a giant blood-red mountain, with a blood umbrella on top, dripping flesh and blood, sweeping across the world. These horrors fill the entire sky, packed everywhere. I stumbled back, hit the corner of the table. Second uncle rushed to steady me, and called out to Chinju anxiously. "What's wrong with you?" I stiffly pointed outside the window, my voice hoarse. "Can't you see those things?" Second uncle looked over, confused, then turned back, terrified. He stared into my eyes and shouted, "What happened to your eyes?" I stood there, stunned, then covered my face. Blood seeped through my fingers. I gazed at the swarming evil gods outside, and let out a suppressed laugh. So this is the real power of the blood eyes. They let me see horrors no ordinary person can. The path of my past life seems to repeat, but there's a darker truth hidden behind it. Somehow this just excites me more. Meanwhile, everyone outside is still clueless, thinking it's just weird weather, until the first outbreak hits. An office worker suddenly gets unbearably hungry, devours food wildly, still not satisfied, then lunges at the clerk, eating flesh raw. The street erupts into chaos. Screams and cries fill the air. Emergency calls jam up. The inspection bureau system is on the verge of collapse. That mutated man, after biting into the power supply, storms out of the store covered in blood, and targets a boy who had fallen, trembling on the ground. Just as the man lunges at him, a shadow suddenly darts out and smashes him away with a stick. It's me, holding an iron rod, standing in front of the boy, and say coldly. The kid hides behind me. A buzz-cut guy named Fang Zhu tries to talk to me. I ignore him completely, jump into the air, and swing the iron rod down hard, smashing the mutated man's head to pieces. Blood and flesh splatter everywhere. People around me scream and throw up in terror, calling me a demon, but I don't care at all. I crouch down and dig my hand into the mess, feeling the ghostly energy flow into my palm, traveling up my arm into the bridge of no return tattoo on my chest. That's just a basic starving ghost. Once I absorb all this energy and kill 10 more like it, I'll unlock the beginner, ox head and horse face tattoo. I stand up and glance back. People keep their heads down. No one dares look at me. The boy grabs my pant leg and thanks me timidly. I ruffle his hair and say, "Get stronger," then head back to the Chin house. As soon as I step inside the ancestral home, the whole clan rushes over, their faces mixed with panic and excitement. Second uncle quickly brings water to help wash the blood away. He asks me worriedly, "Will this get us in trouble with the bureau?" Eyes closed, I reply calmly, "If you don't believe me, try calling the cops." Though in a few hours, the Jiangcheng bureau system will totally crash. Second uncle calls, still unsure. But not only are the emergency lines busy, even police contacts sound irritable, saying they've had over 2,000 cases in an hour. Even the janitors got sent out to help. Second uncle hangs up, looking deeply worried. Finally, he believes me. What just happened out there? That man, he ate a burger shop worker, right? Second uncle presses. Just a starving ghost. They possess people with empty stomachs. Pretty weak. Easy to handle. I say flatly. The clan finally accepts the reality of ghosts and look at me with admiration. Second uncle even bows his head first. "Chinju, please forgive us for misjudging you before. From now on, we'll do whatever you say. Just protect the Chin family." And right then, everyone else bows too. I smile and get up. If I didn't want to save you, why would I stock up on food early and make you all get tattoos? Just then, a faint knocking comes, mixed with a little girl's weak voice. "Help, help me, please. Mom wants to eat me." "Help? Is anyone there?" Someone checks the cameras right away. A little girl in a white dress, with braided hair is crying and knocking, covered in mud, looking pitiful. Our people feel bad and want to open the door. "Hold on," I shout, stopping them. "No one touch her." Second uncle frowns, then gets it, and quietly asks, "Something's off." "Look at her feet." I point to the screen. Everyone stares hard and goes pale instantly, breaking out in cold sweat. Under the girl's skirt, nothing. She has no feet, not even a shadow behind her. She's floating in midair. It's a ghost. Everyone freaks out and cry out. I signal Qinshan and Qinfeng to watch everyone. Grab a dragon scale tang sword in each hand and walk up to the door. The cries and pleas outside go on. I ask coldly, "Where's your mom?" The knocking and crying stop instantly. The girl on camera stares right at the door. Her voice is cold and choked with tears. Mom's behind me. She's holding a rag doll. She wants to stuff me inside it. The next second, the girl screams her heart out from outside. "Mom, don't kill me. Don't kill me." I smirk coldly, hearing "Mom," and kick the door wide open, swinging the dragon scale sword. I hear a thud as the blade sinks in. Standing outside is an 8-foot-tall ghost, in loose black clothes, hands bluish-green, fingernails razor-sharp, one hand clutching a ragged doll, the other grabbing the little girl, about to shove her into the doll. My sword is buried deep in her shoulder. The giant ghost slowly turns her head, bloodshot eyes bulging, glaring down at me, a bone-chilling aura coming off her. The people inside scream in panic, but I see trust in their eyes now. As for me, I'm not scared at all. Actually, I'm even more pumped. My lips curl uncontrollably, showing sharp, pale teeth. And there's madness in my gaze, honestly. I seem even more monstrous than the ghost. "Mom." A shrill, agonizing scream suddenly erupts. The 8-foot ghost's veiny gray hand squeezes tight. I hear bones crack with an awful sound. Blood and broken bone spray from her fingers. My vision goes dark. Something round drops to my feet. I reach out and catch it. It's the little girl's head. She pinched it off with 2 fingers. Just a squeeze broke her neck. The girl's face is still twisted in pain and tears. Her innocent eyes begging me, staring right at me. I'm holding the cold head in one hand, covering my face with the other, letting out a weird low laugh. The Qin family disciples see this. All go pale and freeze in fear. The ghost shoves the broken girl's body forcibly into the ragged doll. The doll's belly bulges out suddenly, but the head just goes limp. He quickly looked away, his eyes locked onto the girl's head in my arms. I spread my fingers. A fierce golden light flashed in my bloody eyes. I spoke in a low voice. Most people see a ghost for the first time, and they're usually low-level nobodies. Level 1 ghosts are rare. Level 2 are even rarer. I didn't expect that right after defeating the starving ghost. I'd run into you, a level 2 ghost. The urban legend Slender Lady, and not just the regular version. She's tangled up with the grudge of the sister carrying the doll story. I gently set the girl's head on the ground. Both hands grip my dragon scale tang sword. Instead of backing off, I closed in step by step. The slender ghost suddenly raised her eyes. Her smile turned chilling. That cruel sister carrying the doll. Their grudges have nothing to do with you. Why stick your nose in it? Turn people into dolls. Her roar shook the ancestral house. Outside the ancestral home, in a bustling city area, people were crying and sirens were blaring. But since the slender ghost appeared, everything nearby went dead silent. Not a single sound. I ignored all of it. I kept my eyes on her weak spot. I knew exactly what to do. Her arms were crazy strong, but her legs were super weak. Breaking her stance was the key. Attack the weakness. Cut off her base. I lowered my stance. The dragon scale tang sword swung just above the ground. I moved as fast as a ghost. The slender ghost panicked. Her huge body couldn't dodge the sharp blade. I just heard the sound of slashing through snow. Her legs were cut clean off. She crashed to the ground with a loud thud. She could only wave her claws around wildly, dragging herself toward me, leaving a long bloody trail. I held my low slash position, stayed steady, slowly stood up, sheathing my blade. Glanced at the slender ghost struggling on the floor, turned and picked up the girl's head. My voice suddenly turned unusually gentle. I softly comforted her. The pain will pass. Life is hell anyway. If you want, I'll guide you to the other side where flowers bloom. You can chase butterflies in peace. Your next life will be safe and happy. Even though the girl's head was already cold, her stiff eyes lifeless, I still whispered softly. The whole clan felt even more chills. Qinfeng bravely asked, "Qinju, you okay? You alright?" I put my finger to my lips, gently shushed them. Next second, everyone was wide-eyed. The girl in my arms, her head shriveled up visibly, Skin, flesh, and bone collapsed into a pile. All traces vanished. I tossed the remains, looked down at my chest. There, on the bridge of Soul's tattoo, was a girl chasing butterflies. But just then, the ox head and horse face tattoo on my chest glowed softly. Two blurry shadows flickered behind me and were gone in a flash. I knew it was the resentment of the slender ghost and the girl. That ghostly aura was thick, as strong as 7 or 8 starving ghosts. My ghost power surged. I was close to awakening. Qinju, what's going on? Qinfeng pressed again, totally confused. I turned and asked back, have you heard of the sister carrying the doll? And the slender lady urban legends? Everyone looked confused. All shook their heads. Only my cousin Qin Xiaowan timidly raised her hand. She's a high school girl who loves these legends. I signaled her. Qin Xiaowan gathered her courage to tell the story. Slender Lady is a level 2 ghost who seduces men. She's nearly 3 meters tall. She kills with brute force and curses. No one survives meeting her. The sister carrying the doll story is even more tragic. A girl watched her father kill her mom. Her dad then chopped off her legs. The stepmom skinned her and made her into a doll. That's why the girl in white has no legs. And why the slender ghost stuffed her into a ragdoll. After hearing it all, everyone was furious and deeply moved. I nonchalantly drew my dragon-scale tongue sword and stabbed the slender ghost's head clean through. She howled twice, then went totally still. A chill ghostly aura spread out. The family noticed at once and looked at me, admiring these 2 ghosts even more. They came to us willingly, so there won't be any evil spirits for the next 8 hours. Everyone, get some rest, I ordered in a steady tone. After staying up all night, the family finally relaxed. They all settled down to rest. I pulled out my phone to check the news. The internet was already chaos. It's flooded with people begging for help with ghosts. One post really caught my eye. It was from Fang Xiu, the buzzcut guy. He posted a photo of me killing the starving ghost in the street. Called me the Jiangcheng super badass. But the comments were all doubt and hate, calling it photoshopped, accusing me of murder. Fang Xiu fought back angrily, said only sticking with me means survival in this chaos. Also said he's just a tattooed street punk, squatting in a rental with no way out. Cut to Fang Xiu. He'd just posted. When he heard urgent knocking at the door, he had no family or friends. His heart nearly stopped. He grabbed a metal pipe and looked through the peephole. Instant chills went through him. A creepy humanoid thing was crouched outside, belly up, limbs twisted, staring straight through the peephole, making eye contact with him. That ghost grinned and shrieked, "I see you." It started ramming the flimsy door like crazy. The door shuddered. Fang Xiu was terrified, frantically scrolled for a number. I gave that number to a little boy before. When he tricked it out of me, my phone vibrated as he called. "Hello, who is this?" I answered coldly. "It's me, Fang Xiu. Please save me. Some monster's smashing my door." "It's not human." Fang Xiu's voice was super shaky, full of despair. I cut him off, then said calmly, "In this dying world, I don't owe you anything." Fang Xiu's face went pale. Tears ran down his face. The banging and creepy laughter outside got louder. He was close to mentally breaking. A moment later, I spoke again. "The door hasn't broken, right?" Fang Xiu instinctively replied, "Yeah. What kind of door is it?" "Old rental's wooden door. Cheap stuff," he stammered. I replied, getting a bit annoyed, and snapped at him. "Then what are you scared of?" "Grab something and hit it. It's just some loser who can't even break down a door. Why are you afraid?"
Hung up.
I frowned. Suddenly remembered when I handed out my number on the street before. Just blurted it out. Suddenly felt a bit of regret. In these chaotic times, leaking info is a death sentence. I've seen too many tragedies of people sheltering others, only to be betrayed and killed. In this brutal world, kindness is always fatal. My eyes turned cold. I considered tracking Fang Xiu down to silence him, or smashing my phone to cut off the risk. But then I thought again. The apocalypse just started. Nearly everyone will be dead in a month. After fighting the slender ghost, I'm a bit worn out. But with my dragon-scale tongue sword, my past life experiences and the Qin clan by my side, this small risk doesn't bother me. Besides, in my previous life, Jiang Cheng never encountered someone like Fang Zhu. He probably won't survive the next illusion, so I can't be bothered to deal with him anymore. Right now, what's most important is to rest and recover. Get ready for the next hunt. 3 hours flew by in a flash. My phone rang again. The caller was Fang Zhu. A colder look appeared in my eyes. I didn't expect this kid to actually survive. Hello, I said indifferently. All I heard was heavy breathing on the other end. There was a moment of silence. Then Fang Zhu's trembling voice came through. It's me, Fang Zhu. I killed that monster. I killed someone. As long as you don't mind, I'll do anything, even slave away for you. I just want to stay by your side. I was a bit surprised. The corners of my mouth lifted slightly. If you're still alive in 3 days, I'll come find you. Really? Thanks, bro. I'll be absolutely loyal. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. I couldn't be bothered to listen to him thank me over and over. I just hung up the phone. But in my mind, I'd already made up my mind. If he's still alive after 3 days, I'll kill him myself. Leaving a stranger with my contact info is always a ticking time bomb. In a chaotic world, only getting rid of any threats is safest. Now the scene shifts to Fang Zhu. He's covered in blood. There's a fresh bite wound on his chest. He staggers on his feet. He looks down at the monster's corpse, smashed by an iron rod. His whole body tingles. He was just pushed to the edge. He fought back like a madman with the rod, and actually managed to kill the monster. Hearing me give him a chance brought him to tears and laughter. He used all his strength to push the bed against the broken door. He searched for the only half bucket of instant noodles left, half a bottle of soybean paste, and a piece of chocolate. He planned to tough it out for 3 days in the rental. But he didn't know the dawn he was hoping for was actually the executioner's blade. By evening, panic footsteps and cries echoed in the hallway. A group of young men and women were chased by a chef ghost with a knife. They banged desperately on his door for help. Fang Zhu hesitated for a moment, but still opened the door to let them in. He blocked the door again. Little did he know, this act pushed him into a human abyss. Everyone was starving. They took his last piece of chocolate, then shamelessly wasted the soybean paste. Fang Zhu remembered his deal for 3 days later, and forced himself not to explode with anger. By the 3rd day, everyone had gone crazy from hunger, fighting each other over a bag of expired bread. The leader, Chao Nan, had his throat slit with a tile and died horribly. The rental turned into literal hell in an instant. Panicked, Fang Zhu tried to call me, only to find out his phone had 0 signal. Despair swallowed him up. Now, back to the present. I finished resting up. I gathered all the Qin family members in the main hall. My presence was full of authority, allowing no arguments. Qinju, what do we do next? Qin Feng stepped up and asked. We hunt, I said. Short and to the point. Those 4 words shocked everyone. Many faces turned fearful. After all, they had just faced the terrifying 8-winged ghost. They still hadn't recovered from the trauma. One smaller clan member, trembling, admitted his legs felt weak. He said he couldn't face the ghosts. Cut the crap. All of you, come with me. I didn't give in at all. I forced everyone to move out. Only Qin Miao stayed behind with a few others to guard the house. To hold the rear line, we stepped out of the Qin house. The once busy Jiangcheng was now hell on earth. The streets were empty. Blood was everywhere. Abandoned belongings scattered all around. Wails and screams rang out from everywhere. It was so stifling it was hard to breathe. Qinju, there's no signal. Phones are completely dead. Qin Feng clutched his phone. Brows tightly knit. Totally normal. The world's magnetic field is out of whack. All electronics and digital weapons are done for. Human tech just got set back 100 years. I explained gruffly. Everyone looked disturbed at my words. That meant hot weapons were now useless. We could only rely on cold weapons and runes against ghosts now. Surviving just got way harder. Not long after moving out, we heard madness and looting from a supermarket nearby. People were fighting to stockpile food, smashing things like crazy. A female clerk behind the supermarket's reinforced doors was shaking with fear. She locked the door and wouldn't let anyone in. A middle-aged man looked vicious. He grabbed a brick and smashed the glass hard. Even cussed and threatened the clerk. Totally deranged. Qin Feng rushed up and drop-kicked the man away.
He turned and asked me, Qinju.
What do we do? Kill him, I said. My tone was calm. I walked up to the supermarket doors and signaled the clerk to open up. Chinju said kill. Kill him? Qin Feng looked stunned, clearly unable to accept it. Got a problem? I glanced at him, being soft-hearted. We'll get you killed in a world this rotten. Survival is impossible. No sooner had I spoken. The man who had been kicked suddenly rolled his eyes up, frothing at the mouth. He'd been fully corrupted and mutated by ghost energy. Qin Feng hesitated no more, and cut him down with the sword. He trembled as he returned to me. Chinju, I killed someone. The clerk nervously unlocked a door. I told the others to guard the entrance. I drew my tang saber, seeing people inside the supermarket start to mutate. I said seriously, I brought you here because we're hunting ghosts. Getting stronger is the only way to survive. From now on, killing and fighting will just be normal. Before I finished, a chubby guy suddenly mutated and lunged at the clerk. I instantly cut him down, then looked at the shaking clerk. I said calmly, we're not demons. We're just people stuck in hell. The bloodbath didn't last long. Half the people inside mutated from ghost energy. All were killed by the Qin family members. The remaining survivors trembled with fear, afraid to make a sound. After this fight, most of the fear in my people had faded, replaced by a deadly edge. I nodded to myself at the sight. This is how you survive the end times. The clerk, still soaked in blood, begged at my feet, said he was an orphan, willing to do whatever I told him. Just wanted me to take him along. I looked at him, voice cold as ice. In this world, making it out alive is luck. Dying is just fate. For the next month, don't be afraid, don't back down. Face the disaster head on. Survive and there's hope. Die and you're just one more nobody. With that, I turned and led the team out. Qin Miao hurried over, whispering that I should have saved the clerk. To be kind, to do good deeds. I stopped walking. My eyes turned icy as I stared at him. My voice was freezing. Blind kindness will drag everyone into hell. If you can't handle it, don't try to be a hero. If you can truly protect others, then we can talk about mercy. Qin Miao looked down, not daring to say more. Qin Feng stayed silent too. Everyone fully accepted my orders now. Qinju, where are we going? Qin Feng asked. Crematorium, I said. Everyone wasn't scared at all. In fact, they got even more pumped up. That supermarket fight just now purged all their fear of ghosts and killing. The crematorium is the most haunted place. It's the perfect spot to hunt ghosts and collect ghost energy. We arrive at the crematorium. A strong putrid stench hit us. Every corpse in the morgue was awakened by the ghostly aura. Thankfully, we got here first. We already wiped out these low-level ghoul corpses. Before long, two figures tumbled out of the office in a panic. They were the old crematorium workers, old Zhang and the boss. Both of them looked pale as ghosts, shaking all over. Old Zhang froze in place, clutching a fire axe. He looked up and met my bloodshot eyes. His legs gave out in terror. He stammered, trying to speak. Are you people or are you ghosts? I ignored him. My cold gaze swept toward the depths of the crematorium. Faint howls could be heard drifting over. The Qin clan members all gripped their blades tight. They looked on guard. The corpses in the morgue that were contaminated by ghostly aura had already been slain by us one by one. After several real fights, everyone had lost their initial fear. All that was left was a burning will to fight. Even the usually silent fitness influencer Qin Mu, the black tortoise tattoo across his chest and back, had started to show a dark blue sheen. The lines spread along his muscles, showing signs of forming completely. Monsters that eat people. Man-eating monsters. Old Zhang totally freaked out. Raving, he hid behind me deeper inside, screaming in panic. It's him! It's him! I saw him eat Zhang Wenjuan's head with my own eyes.
He ate it before he could finish.
A blood-red figure crept out from the shadows. A mangled human body with a completely crushed head, eyeballs dangling from its cheeks, staring blankly ahead. This was the dreaded rotten head ghost. I narrowed my eyes slightly, instantly seeing through what it was. It's the same level as the Lady of 8 Feet, a Class 2 rule-type ghost. It hurts people driven by obsession. Killing it would give me just enough ghostly power to awaken the ox head and horse-face divine sigil. A rare thrill rose up in me. Careful, it can eat your head. Old Zhang shouted, trembling. I didn't respond. I sped up suddenly. Like an arrow, I charged forward with my dragon scale blade. My long knife buzzed as it came out of its sheath. A flash of blade light. I split the rotten head ghost in two, but the smashed head slowly rose off the ground. A blood-soaked spine propped it up. It glared at me from above, its bloody mouth slowly opening. Your head was crushed, so you want everyone who crossed you to get crushed too. That's your rule. Or call it your obsession. I grinned, ripped open my shirt, revealing arms full of underworld tattoos. My muscles bulged on both arms as I grabbed the rotten head's mouth tightly and yanked it apart with force. A sharp tearing sound. I ripped the ghost head clean in half and tossed it aside. The reincarnation eye at my throat whirled at full power, sucking up every bit of the ghostly aura. In the next moment, the ox head and horse face tattoos on my shoulders turned faintly bloody red. Countless black matter surged from beneath my skin, forming spiked armor over my shoulders and arms. The shoulders had bristling spikes like a wild horse's mane, and my arms were covered in thick, dark keratin. My defense and strength skyrocketed. I swung the dragon scale blade at my arm, leaving only a shallow cut. Then I rammed the spikes into a concrete wall, leaving a huge dent. The Qin clan members gasped in awe, eyes wide in shock. Bro, big bro! Big bro, please let me join you. Old Zhang dropped to his knees. He begged me desperately. I'll do any dirty work. Whatever you tell me to do, I'll do it. Seeing me unmoved, he grabbed a shard of glass and slashed his hand open, raised his bloody hand and shouted, Big bro, I'm not afraid to bleed. I'll fight and kill if I have to. In a world like this, I don't need slackers. It's guts and fight that keep you alive. I said calmly, just follow us. Old Zhang was ecstatic, happily trailing at the back of the group, not daring to get too close, only smiling and sucking up to the other Qin clan guys. I turned to the group and said, You've built up enough ghost energy. Just about. Sweep the crematorium clean. If a corpse gets up, just cut it down. If you see a spirit-type ghost, report it to me. Everyone answered in unison, and carried out a complete sweep of the crematorium. Old Zhang followed, fire axe in hand, helping out. Most of the remaining ghosts were near the incinerator area, mainly some shaking urns. The group flipped every urn, making sure no threats remained. Qin Feng also noticed his tortoise tattoo acting up, close to his first awakening. Yeah, you'll reach phase 1 soon. Awakening needs a safe place, I said gravely. But Brother Qinju, when you awakened just now, it seemed like you did it all at once. Qin Feng asked, puzzled. What's the point of comparing yourself with me? I replied calmly, then led the team away. Let's go pack up and move back to the Qin family estate. Grandma and the women were already worried sick, seeing us covered in blood, faces full of worry. I kept a stern face and said bluntly, the old Qin home isn't safe anymore. We have to move. Grandma understood how chaotic things were and didn't hang on to the old home. She agreed right away. The other women all agreed too. We drove off in the big red truck we'd prepped earlier, headed straight for Jiang City's landmark, the 78-story Royal Diamond International Hotel. This place is on high ground. Easy to defend, hard to take. Perfect for building a fortress in the apocalypse. Last time, there was a massacre here, but now I've got it locked down. The hotel doors were locked tight, with no power or internet. Only the manual locks were left. On the 3rd floor, a guard shouted through a speaker, saying the Royal Diamond Hotel banned outsiders. Get out of here. This is your first warning. I ran out of patience. I shot a look at Qin Feng. Qin Feng got the message, grabbed his tanged sword and swung at the mechanical lock. The hotel manager rushed over with the guards. He yelled at us through the thickened steel door, and even pointed a black gun threateningly. One more move and I'll shoot. I'll kill you. I instantly activated, horse face mane wrapped around my fist, and stepped forward. I smashed my fist into the steel door. The whole door cracked like a spider web. Go ahead, shoot, I said calmly through the cracks. The manager was speechless. Can't shoot through the steel door. But if he opened up, he couldn't match my strength. So he just stalled. Then he threatened me with the women in our truck. That pushed my last button. I punched harder and blew a hole right through the steel door. The horse face mane shot out wildly, instantly piercing the guard's body and the manager's head. Both dropped on the spot. The man ripped up the door's mechanic locks too. I pushed open the heavy steel door, stepping into a pool of blood, exuding a murderous aura, like the king of hell himself. 5 minutes later, Hotel President Chen Long showed up with the executives. He cautiously tried to win me over. I'm Chen Long, president of the Emperor Grand Hotel. I know you. You're from the old Qin family in Jiangcheng. The manager here was transferred from another province. He doesn't know better. Please don't mind him. I ignored his outstretched hand, not hiding my intentions at all. I want 3 presidential suites on the top floor. Chen Long quickly nodded and agreed. He even offered 5 suites on his own. I used 2 to settle my family. The other 3 were for storing food and supplies. The women were placed in the room next door on the same floor to ensure their safety. The elevator went up. Qin Feng quietly asked, Bro, why is the Emperor Grand's boss so nice to us? Don't worry about him, I replied calmly, looking out at the chaos in the city, whispering to myself. So bro, what's our next move? Qin Feng pressed for an answer. We'll use this hotel as our base. Clear things out and build a fortress first. I opened my eyes. My voice was cold. Because soon, this building will fall into a warlord era full of blood. It'll be all-out warlord chaos. Qin Feng and Qin Zan looked at each other, both in disbelief. They both worked for the government. It's hard to accept this reality. I signaled them to look out the window. Car crashes everywhere, thick black smoke, monsters running wild. Here's the point. Cities nationwide are cut off by magnetic chaos, isolated with no help. In times of chaos, order falls apart. This is bound to happen. Some things it's enough to know. Don't say them out loud. In this dying world, nothing's impossible. We reached the top floor suites. I gathered all the Qin family and Lao Zhang. They stood in front of me, eyes full of respect. Lao Zhang spoke up emotionally. Bro, you're really my lifesaver. I'll follow you for the rest of my life. I nodded slightly. Noticed everyone was close to their first awakening. So I explained the rune master rules on the spot. Runes have levels that match the master's rank. Quantity leads to transformation. Build enough level 1 runes. A solid foundation beats a single one. Much more potential at level 2. Everyone paid close attention. Qin Feng used cultivation terms to sum it up fast. Everyone suddenly understood. At the same time, second uncle got a private invite from Chen Long. He offered 10% of the Emperor Grand as payment. Asked for our help to escort Dragon City's $300 billion worth of containers. Second uncle didn't agree. He just said I'd decide. And openly said cash means nothing in chaos, food matters more. Politely refused the offer. Meanwhile, the Qin family kept awakening. Turtle shell tattoos appeared on their backs. They turned into black armor they could summon at will. Everyone was thrilled. I reminded them this is just the start. You're all still small fry, but follow me. You'll go from ants to gods, step by step. Morale shot up immediately. Everyone was united. I quickly organized our teams, formed 3 squads.
Name the group Chasing Sun.
It means chasing hope in the apocalypse. Survive against all odds. Qin Feng leads the White Blade squad. Qin Zuan leads the Tiger Guard squad. Second uncle leads the Black Dragon squad. Lao Zhang is Black Dragon's deputy leader. Everyone took their orders, full of fighting spirit. Lastly, I gave out assignments. I spoke decisively, Qin Feng. Take White Blade. Go to Riverside Villa number 18. Qin Zhe, take Tiger Guard. Head to Sunshine Rentals in South City. Second uncle, take Black Dragon. Go to ICBC, meeting adjourned. As soon as I said to adjourn, Qin Feng and Qin Zan each led their team. Set out right away. Second uncle led Black Dragon and Lao Zhang, headed straight for ICBC. I stayed on the top floor of the Emperor Grand, waiting for updates from all 3 squads, at the same time planning how to gather more people and fortify our base. Dark clouds hung outside. Wails echoed across the city. Every moment, people kept dying to monsters and human evil. First to reach Riverside Villa No. 18 was Qin Feng's White Blade squad. The once unshakable national tattoo master, Old Joe, now a coward, trembling behind the sofa. His arm was badly mangled, one finger bitten off. The pain was intense, but he didn't make a sound. His adopted son, Joe Bowen, that formerly gentle science student, had been totally corrupted by ghost energy, hair wild and loose, mouth covered in blood, searching the house by sound, muttering crazy things about inheriting property. No trace of humanity left. Suddenly, the villa door was kicked open. Qin Feng strode in. He glanced coldly at the crazed Zhou Bowen, turned and called out behind the sofa. I'm Qin Feng, sent by Brother Zhu, here to bring you into the Chasing Sun organization. As soon as he finished, Zhou Bowen went berserk roaring, foul spit and bloody bits flying. He looked terrifying. Qin Feng frowned and ordered Qin Shan, Qin Jing, Qin Shu, kill him, don't. Old Zhou lunged out, grabbing Qin Shan's leg tightly, crying uncontrollably. Don't kill him, he's my son. He's my son. Qin Jing and Qin Shu stopped immediately, looked to Qin Feng for orders, waiting for instructions. Qin Feng's face turned cold. He told Old Zhou, he's not your son anymore. He's totally corrupted by ghosts now. He's not human. No, he's my son. Old Zhou's eyes turned red. He blocked Zhou Bowen with his whole body, refusing to give way. The next second, Zhou Bowen breathed foul air in Old Zhou's ear, whispering softly, then bit hard into Old Zhou's shoulder, and tore off a big chunk of flesh. Still laughing about property rights, Old Zhou's whole body shook, his eyes filled with despair. Despair that all family bonds were destroyed. You're getting cocky, you garbage. Qin Feng shouted in anger and struck. His sword cleanly chopped off Zhou Bowen's head. A wisp of gray ghost energy floated up from the headless body. No one noticed. It rose straight into the sky, blending into a bloody cloud only ghosts could see. Old Zhou stared as his son's head rolled over. He went completely blank, collapsed to the floor, sobbing uncontrollably. Qin Feng said nothing more, just ordered coldly, take them. Take this ghost too. Then led the group, escorting stunned Old Zhou back. At the same time, Qin Zone led the Tiger Guard squad and arrived at Sunshine Rentals in South City. As soon as they opened the door, everyone froze in shock. Inside the cramped apartment, 8 bloodied bodies were scattered everywhere. Fang Shu was covered in blood, sitting in the middle clutching a bent iron rod, his eyes dull and empty, mumbling to himself. Qin Zone checked the photo to confirm. It was the man I wanted to find. The noise woke Fang Shu up. He was stunned at first seeing them, then broke down crying. What took you so long? Why did you only come now? Qin Zhen crouches down to check the body. He turns his head and stares at Fang Zhu.
He asks Fang Zhu in a low voice.
Did you kill them? Fang Zhu cries out. He tells the whole story. He took in a group of young men and women out of kindness, but they ignored their hunger and totally destroyed their humanity. This group caused a death first. Then they even tried to kill him for food. He was pushed to his limits, so he fought back with a stick to survive. He ended up killing all 8 of them. He spent a day and night alone among the bodies, nearly lost his mind. Qin Hu pulls Qin Zhen aside. He quietly asks if my original order should still be carried out. Qin Zhen's eyes look complicated. He calls me right away. He reports honestly, bro, this is Qin Zhen from Tiger Guards. Fang Zhu killed 8 people. He's a bit unstable mentally. Should we keep carrying out the order? I pause for a moment, then tell him to put Fang Zhu on the phone. As soon as the phone gets near Fang Zhu's ear, the emptiness in his eyes suddenly sparks. He grabs the phone with trembling hands. His voice shakes. Hello? It's me, I'm Fang Zhu. I speak calmly. Tell me, how many did you kill? 7. No. 8. Why did you kill them? Because they wanted to eat me. So you killed them all? What else could I do? Fang Zhu suddenly loses it.
He bursts into tears.
He shouts, they wanted to eat me. They're not even human. They eat people. What was I supposed to do? What could I possibly do? There's silence on my end of the call. I give a faint laugh. You can still speak logically. You're not crazy. Hearing this, Qin Zhen quietly grips his tang sword and aims it at the back of Fang Zhu's neck. But I speak up again. My voice is calm but commanding. Fang Zhu, I'll give you a chance. Be an ant dying on the street. Or be my dog. A dog that gets to see the sunrise every day. I'll be your dog. Fang Zhu falls to his knees, screaming in despair. His cries echo down the whole hallway. Even some chef ghosts are drawn over. Qin Hu quickly takes a squad to go clear them out. The sounds of brutal fighting ring out. Feng Shu still clings to the phone, crying over and over, just wanting to live. Meanwhile, second uncle leads the Black Dragon Squad and old Zhang to Jiangcheng ICBC. Inside, everyone is already panicking. The bank manager is still stuck in the old mindset. He insists the staff keep working, ignoring the chaos outside. Suddenly, a man grabs the manager with a knife, trying to rob the bank. The manager seizes the chance to hit the alarm. But law enforcement is already paralyzed. No one comes for a long time. Suddenly, there's a rapid knocking at the door. Second uncle tells old Zhang to use his long sword to chop through the reinforced shutter. He strides into the bank. The manager sees it's second uncle and is instantly overjoyed. He quickly points out the robber. The robber is nervous already. When he sees it's the Qin family from Jiangcheng, he panics and drops his knife. Second uncle walks up and slaps the robber several times. He scolds him harshly for profiting off disaster. After some questioning, they learn the guy is Wang Zhao.
His savings from working in Myanmar were all seized.
He took the risk for a 300 jade dowry. The manager stirs things up on the side, but second uncle smacks him instead. Orders him to shut up. Second uncle doesn't bother over the robber anymore. He turns to the manager and coldly orders no donations. Go! Exchange all the Qin family's money into gold for me. Bring out all of it. The manager just stands there, stunned. He still tries to talk them into donating. Second uncle just repeats the order. Seeing the manager make excuses, old Zhang draws his tang sword and chops the counter, scaring everyone silent. Miss Xiaomei, a teller, gives up the vault key under pressure, hands over the vault key. Old Zhang leads the team to count and move the gold. They finish moving the Qin family's share. Suddenly, the ground shakes. You can hear tanks and armored vehicles outside. The 5th Infantry Brigade rolls in to restore order. The manager is thrilled.
He tries to rush out to report.
But second uncle throws him down and ties him to a pillar. Second uncle knows guns are useless against ghosts, so he doesn't dare stay long. They head straight back with the gold, leaving the bank in chaos. People on the street start crying with joy seeing the army arrive. Tears of relief everywhere. Qin Feng squeezes up to the officer to ask about the shelter, but only gets a standard reassurance. He knows guns alone won't stop the ghosts, so he heads back immediately. Returns to the Embren Hotel to report to me. Not long after, all 3 teams regroup. Elder Zhou and Feng Shu are brought to the top floor suite. Feng Shu bursts into tears when he sees me, still clinging to hope like a drowning man. Elder Zhou just stares blankly, turned completely gray overnight. His spirit is shattered. I look at him, this tattoo master, once so full of himself. My tone is flat. Nice to see you again, Elder Zhou. Elder Zhou just sits there, silent. I toss a stack of surveillance photos in front of him. Speak softly. Dead means dead. Open your eyes and look at your so-called son. Elder Zhou picks up the photos. His body shakes as he sees what's inside.
He lifts his head, eyes wide in shock.
This is my house's surveillance footage. How do you have this? I don't answer. I already know the tragedy from my previous life. Joe Bowen wasn't just corrupted by ghost energy. He had evil intentions all along. I pick up the scattered photos, look down at Elder Zhou. My voice is calm but icy cold. What's so impossible about that? Joe Bowen set up a straw doll in his room and wrote your name on it, Elder Zhou. He stabbed it with needles every night, burned it and soaked it in water. Take a guess. Elder Zhou, why do you think he did all that? Elder Zhou grips the photos, fingers turning white. He stands there, devastated and lost. Yang Ziai's twisted plot totally broke him. He can't recover for a long time. I'm in no rush to push him. Obsession and feelings in the tomb should be crushed sooner than later. I have someone arrange a room for him to rest. Then I gather everyone for orders. Everyone rests for 3 hours. 3 hours later. White Blade, Tiger Guards, Black Dragon. We're all going with me to hunt ghosts at the Central Hospital. Central Hospital. Why pick that place? Qin Feng immediately asks, curious. I answer casually. That hospital has the heaviest bad energy. The gloomier it gets, the stronger the high-level ghosts gather. Perfect for some warm-up. Nobody dares delay. Everyone quickly closes their eyes to rest up. During the break, second uncle comes over, mentions that Chun Long wants help moving a shipping container, worth $1 billion in gold. He's seriously tempted. The Qin family's savings for over 10 years only add up to 150 million in gold. That billion is worth the risk. Second uncle, you're being way too simple about people. I cut him off right away. My tone is cold. You think Chun Long is shipping jewelry and gold? Over 300 billion worth of jewelry and gold. Even emptying Jiangcheng wouldn't be enough. What he's transporting is guns and ammo. Second uncle visibly trembled. His face was full of shock. He gave us the presidential suite with an attitude, just using us as cover. These weapons are useless against monsters, but deadly to humans. I waved my hand. We don't touch these setups where we're used by others. Go and rest. Second uncle gritted his teeth. Couldn't help but ask before leaving. How do you know the inside story? I have my own channels. No need to ask further, I replied calmly. Second uncle was suspicious, but still turned to leave. When 3 hours passed, I got up first. Alarm went off. All the Qin family members woke up. As soon as I opened the hotel room door, I bumped into a man in uniform, a major with the insignia on his shoulder.
He reached out proactively.
Serious look, must be Qinju. My name's Wang Dahai. Heard you killed a madman on the street with an iron bar. You're strong in combat. Want to invite you to give a real combat lecture in the army. I kept a neutral look. Step aside from his hand. Sorry, I don't have much experience. Just helped out when I saw trouble. Stepped in to help. Finished speaking and left with my group. Wang Dahai didn't stop us. Waited until we were far. Then reported through his headset. I'm just an ordinary guy with strength. Nothing unusual. At the hotel entrance, second uncle whispered, worried the army came for you. It's fine. From Wang's unit. My name came up when elders went to the capital's neighborhoods. Didn't spill any big secrets. Otherwise would have been arrested long ago. I waved my hand, telling him not to dwell on it. Right now, we head to the hospital. Our group arrived at downtown hospital, but saw soldiers everywhere nearby. Gate taped off. Guards stepped up to block us sharply. Who are you? Hospitals locked down. No entry allowed. I frowned and thought. A familiar voice came from behind. Wang Dahai again. He looked surprised to see us so soon. You guys coming to the hospital? Yes, nodding. Why the sudden lockdown? Wang Dahai looked awkward, beat around the bush, not wanting to explain. I planned to turn and find another spot to train, but he quickly blocked me. Whispered, if you agree to the previous lecture, I'll let you all in. It's not a military secret. Let out a chuckle, just a lecture after all. I agreed. Wang Dahai became instantly happy. After negotiating with the guard, we smoothly entered the hospital. Once inside, I realized the army had closed the hospital to seize antibiotics and supplies. Many soldiers had been attacked by monsters and went mad before, morale falling apart. They needed medicine to stabilize things. Qin Feng eyed the soldiers stationed everywhere. He lowered his voice and asked Zhuzhe, where are we going now? Third underground level, the mortuary. I kept it brief, with Wang Dahai guiding us. Full access all the way. He only stopped at the third basement entrance. Reminded us repeatedly, I'll get you here. Below is the mortuary. You get 2 hours only. Half an hour later, a big boss will inspect. Make sure you're out on time. Okay, I nodded. Everyone just stepped into the third basement. A bone-chilling cold hit us. Way colder than any AC. Qin Feng froze up suddenly. Pointed to the end of the corridor. Zhuzhe, there's a dark shadow there. I glanced up. Expression calm. Just DJ, that's all. No need to fear ghosts. Tasks assigned randomly. 9 mortuary rooms on this floor. Head over. Responsibility for 3, Tiger Ben. 4, Black Dragon, 67-9. Each team handles 90 bodies. Stronger ghosts here. Contact me at once if in trouble. I'll sit and guard the 3rd floor entrance. Dragon scale Tang's sword in hand. Eyes locked on the shadow down the corridor. We stood silently facing off. Neither moved. After a while, noise came from room 1. Island team found an extra person while counting. 10 people total. But counted 11. Lights suddenly went out. Phones lit up. Everyone saw too. Qinjing panicked and rushed in. Cut down one of them. But after leaving the room, everyone realized in horror. The one killed was the real Qinjing. The ghost disguised as Qinjing stood at the door, face twisted. sneered as Qin Feng broke down instantly. Red-eyed, he rushed back with his blade, sliced the ghost into pieces, collapsed in a pool of blood clutching his head, blaming himself again and again. I slowly walked to him, said coldly, "Your anger clouded your mind." Qin Feng cried out, wanting to hack the ghost into bits. But I looked by his side. Only I could see it. Qin Jin's soul quietly drifted near me. My heart stirred, took off my coat, exposed my chest. Last week, the old tattoo, Bridge of No Return. Divine rune as Qin Jing's soul flowed in, forming a thick shadow on the bridge. I silently activated the rune. That soul shadow appeared on my back, turned into a summon I could control. Raise a hand to attack and feed. Never had this ability in a previous life. Turns out only Rune Master's souls can be absorbed and controlled by the Bridge of No Return. I mentally took note of the rule, didn't mention it, looked at the kneeling, pleading white blade teammate, spoke coldly, "Why are you crying?" Against the supernatural, sacrifice is normal. Get used to life and death early. That's the only way to survive. Qin Jing's mother will be your responsibility now. Qin Feng clenched his fists, choked up. "Yes, I'll do my best." I seriously warned everyone again. Next time, don't act on your own. Everyone answered together. No more objections. Just finished calming White Blade team. Room 4, Qin Zhang yelled for Juzhe. "Come quick." I hurried over, pushed the door and saw a human centipede made of 7, 8 corpses stitched together. Flesh twisted and fused. Disgusting to look at. "Back off," I ordered sharply. Lin Zhen led Tiger Ben team to retreat immediately. This human centipede just formed. Joints are weakest. I activated the divine cowhead horseface rune. Black shell instantly covered my whole body, became solid armor, held my spiked dragon-scaled tang sword, rushed straight ahead. Human centipede went berserk. Attacked and bit but couldn't break the armor. My blade was sharp, sliced all the bodies into bits. Strong ghost energy flowed into me. The soul handler rune on my chest fully activated. The cowhead horseface moved to second stage. Qin Zheng came in to check afterward. Saw the bloody pieces everywhere. Couldn't help but puke hard. Kept sighing, saying I went way too hard. Time flies by. Wang Dahai rushes over.
He looks very anxious.
Only half an hour left. That's all the time I can stall. We must leave on time. He says this and turns to leave. I sit cross-legged at the door. Eyes closed, absorbing ghostly energy floating around. The samsara eye at my throat. It automatically draws in the scattered ghost energy from teammates slaying monsters. The runes of Oxhead, Horseface, and Soul Collector grow even stronger. Just then, the long silent shadow at the end of the hallway finally starts moving slowly. All around it, a chilling aura stronger than any previous monster flows out. The shadow instantly stretches out, turning into a giant spider-shaped ghost monster. It looks like a huge spider, and it screams and lunges at me. Its claws scrape the floor, leaving deep marks. I trigger the Oxhead Horseface runes at once. Black armor covers my body instantly. My tangao is wrapped with horsehair. I charge straight at it. Meanwhile, at the hospital entrance, Wang Dahai snaps to attention, saluting. "Reporting, sir." A honky sedan slowly stops. Elder Wang, in a traditional suit, with gray at his temples, steps out slowly. 2 high-ranking military officials follow behind. Their presence is intimidating. Wang Dahai feels his heart tighten. He silently curses. Just hoping I can get out quickly. He never expected that this top-level figure would show up in person. They've detected a strong energy source right here. Wang speaks through the cold wind. The military bigwigs respond respectfully. "Yes, Elder Wang. The 5th Infantry Brigade has sealed all entrances and exits. Awaiting your orders?" Elder Wang looks up at the hospital building.
He murmurs softly.
That ancient poem unearthed from Kunlun Mountain. Surprisingly, there's life signs again. Looks like the world is truly about to change. Rest assured, Elder Wang. Our forces are ready anytime. Modern military power can handle any ghost or enemy, Elder Wang affirms confidently. He orders the way to be opened. But when the group heads straight for the 3rd basement level, Wang Dahai breaks out in cold sweat instantly. He panics before he can speak. Stalling underground. Loud, deafening ghostly screams erupt from the 3rd basement, echoing through the whole hospital. Elder Wang's face turns dark. He sternly asks who broke in without permission. Military leaders glance at Wang Dahai, who looks terrified. They instantly understand. They shout angrily at all guards. Unlock and investigate. Guns cock in unison as they advance. Elite soldiers move in teams of 3, carefully heading to the third basement. The tension in the hospital skyrockets. Lao Huang's saying about stocks and jeans. The warrior clan ran into trouble. You can't bear this responsibility. Elder Wang's words make the military officers even more serious. Soldiers arrive at the third basement first. What they see chills everyone. A spider ghost monster and a humanoid in black armor are battling wildly. Fist strikes crack the brick walls. Blood splatters everywhere. It's a brutal scene. Kill them all! The military leaders shout the order, but Elder Wang suddenly locks onto my armored form. He shouts sternly, "Not good. Target that armored monster." They open fire, bullets rain down. They hit the armor, causing painful jolts. Pain spreads across my body. I leap off the wall. In a flash, I'm right in front of the soldiers. My blood-red eyes beneath the black armor focus on Elder Wang. My voice is cold and rebellious. Shoot again, and I'll slaughter all of you. Everyone is completely shocked. Military leaders quickly protect Elder Wang and retreat. Yet Elder Wang calmly asks, "Are you human?" I don't respond. The spider ghost lunges at me again. I turn blade in hand and fight. Elder Wang immediately orders a ceasefire. He stares at me intently, full of doubt. After a long, intense fight, the spider ghost gets weaker. I spot an opening. My blade strikes with force. I push it step by step to the end of the corridor, hit it hard several times, chopping off its long limbs. My final strike goes straight at its throat. This high-level ghost monster is killed for good. Its head rolls into a pool of blood. A flood of ghostly energy pours into me. The Soul Collector runes fully solidify. Ox-head horse-face runes evolve again. My aura is even more imposing. I scan everyone. No Runemaster aura detected. I quietly absorb the core ghost energy myself. The leftover scattered ghost energy is shared with the Qin family members in the morgue. Young man, do you know me? Elder Wang steps forward. His long-standing pressure washes over. I don't reply. I sigh softly inside. Knowing my identity can't be hidden anymore, I withdraw the black armor and horsehair blade. Returning to my original form, Elder Wang finally sees my face. Shock shows on his face. "It's you, the Qin family's eldest son, Qinju?" I look up calmly. My voice is calm but sharp. "Everybody out?" The Qin family members leave the morgue one by one. Elder Wang directly tells them to go. Qinju stays. Qin Feng, Qin Zhenyu. My second uncle looks worried, but eventually leaves as told. "Where does your power come from? Is it genetic modification?" Elder Wang presses. I sneer at him, looking him right in the eye. "Where did I get my power? Didn't my imprisoned father tell you?" I enunciate each word. Deputy Chief Wang, the person before me, was the one who caused 1,000,000 elites to die in Hong Valley in my previous life. The main culprit behind the fall of Great Shah. Qin Zhen is your father? Military leaders are stunned, then recognize I'm the old squad leader's son. They quickly try to smooth things over. "Qinju, don't act impulsively. Your father and Elder Qin are fine." Elder Wang always treated them as honored guests. Elder Wang takes a deep breath and speaks gravely. "Your relatives once admitted guilt. Most people saw it as crazy talk, but only I knew the truth. Elder Qin is upright. He never imprisoned them. As a backbone of the nation, the safety of 1.4 billion people comes first. I misunderstood your family before. Hope you'll be honest now. Are you a prophet?" I pause for a moment and quietly answer. The core rule of the apocalypse. Global magnetic field is chaotic. Internet will be cut off for 7 days, with a cycle of 1 hour reconnect, then disconnect. Over and over. Elder Wang's eyes narrow. He immediately asks how long the disconnection has lasted. Here's it's been 48 hours. Looking extremely serious. "If full reconnection happens in 5 days, you will be the nation's hope." He then orders cancel the Gene Warrior plan. Return to the capital at once. Call a national high-level meeting. A military leader quietly asks about follow-up plans. Elder Wang doesn't answer. Cancel all extra plans. Head back to Beijing to see Elder Qin. After the group leaves, Qin Feng quickly comes to my side. Nervously asks, "Bro, are you okay?" I shake my head lightly. "You guys head back to Dehao for training. Hunt down that brother Jew. What about you?" "I'm going to try Soul Collector's World." Meanwhile, Elder Wang rushed back to the old mansion in the capital. He pushed the door open and shouted loudly, calling for Old Master Qin. "I've seen Qin Ju." Old Master Qin suddenly stood up. A flash of golden light shot out from his white brows. "You saw Jewer?" "Yes, I've already informed all the top leaders. If reconnection happens as planned 5 days after blackout, your grandson will be our nation's hope." Elder Wang spoke and bowed deeply, apologizing. He admitted he had basically put the two Qins under house arrest before. He once scoffed at saving the country through tattoos. But now, seeing my power firsthand, he was full of guilt and hope. Qin Chun's face turned ashen. Anger filled his heart. Elder Wang quickly explained he hadn't hurt me. He'd even seen me kill the ancient corpse on Mount Kunlun. He begged them to explain the secrets of the runes and ghosts. Seeing his sincerity, Qin Jun and Old Master Qin finally agreed. Meanwhile, Jiang City was completely swamped by monsters. No living soul could be seen on the streets. Those who survived either hid inside or huddled around the 5th Infantry Brigade, looking for protection. Inside the Imperial Grand Hotel, after the hospital fight, the Qin youngsters had all absorbed ghost energy and broken through to first-level rune masters. Everyone was exhausted. They fell asleep as soon as they got to their rooms. Grandma led the women to prepare hot water and ointment, taking care of the family returning from battle, making sure the rear was secure. In the corner, Qin Feng kneeled before Qin Jing's mother, bowing deeply. "Mom, from now on, I'm your son." Qin Jing forced a weak smile. "I'll do it." Grandma quickly stepped up to comfort her. She soothed Qin Jing's mom, who was struggling with grief, listing the helplessness of living in chaotic times. Trying to comfort everyone. "The lost aren't far from us." Qin Feng felt full of guilt and self-blame. He kept replaying the moment he accidentally killed Qin Jing in his mind. Completely exhausted, he got up and headed to the bathroom.
He just unbuckled his belt.
When a pale human head slowly floated up in the toilet, grinning at him with a creepy smile. "Shit!" Qin Feng's scream echoed through the suite. He went wild and slashed at the toilet with his blade. He didn't stop until the smart toilet was chopped to pieces. Panting for breath, his eyes were vacant, muttering nonstop. "The ghost isn't dead. It's got me now." With a heartache, Grandma hugged her to comfort her. But Qin Feng suddenly broke free. He forced himself to stop, looked at his worried relatives, clutched his tang saber tightly, and shrank into the living room. His eyes were bloodshot, nervously scanning the room. He was trapped in a mental nightmare, struggling to escape. At the same time, the 5th Infantry Brigade took over the central hospital. Mass quantities of antibiotics were loaded into military trucks. Military commanders stared at a map with red circles, firmly targeting the Waxia building. They immediately ordered their guards to report and called for reconnaissance. Earlier, the Waxia building had collapsed. Now there were many unknown shadows inside. The fire department reported. Almost 500 more victims were found inside. Military requested immediate rescue. Orders were given. Military vehicles cleared a path. Hundreds of armed soldiers marched toward the Huaxia ruins. Screams and footsteps echoed weirdly through the hollow corridors, drifting back and forth through the empty ruins, sending chills down the spine. "Sir, that's the Huaxia building ahead." A report came through the comms. Wang Dahai took a deep breath, looking at the ruined site.
He gripped his gun tight.
His hot weapon gave him some confidence, barely holding back his worry. "Throw smoke grenades." A few smoke grenades went off in the ruins. Thick smoke swirled everywhere. The soldiers moved inside one after another. But in less than 3 minutes, agonizing screams echoed from the ruins. Right after, all the advanced troops went silent. "What's going on? Report." Wang Dahai shouted anxiously. Then it hit him. The global magnetic field was messed up. Radio only worked within 10 meters. There was no way to contact the inside team. He gritted his teeth and nodded, picked about a dozen elite soldiers, and led the way inside himself. The scene that greeted him drained all color from his face. Years of military discipline shattered instantly. 7 pieces of rebar pointed toward the sky, each speared through 7 or 8 soldiers. Like human kebabs, the soldiers all looked pained. with rebar punched straight through their guts. Their deaths were brutal. What chilled him even more, the rebar stood upright. There was no way they could have killed themselves. This was clear outside control, forcing them to jump onto the rebar by themselves. Wang Dahai hadn't even recovered when he saw his longtime deputy walk toward the rebar in a trance. Step by step, the deputy went forward. Wang Dahai tried frantically to stop him, but he was a second too late. The deputy leapt up and got impaled right through the chest and belly. Blood splattered all over Wang Dahai's face. In just 2 seconds, the deputy was dead. His moment of awareness and scream before dying utterly broke Wang Dahai. Right after, the rest of the elite troops' eyes turned white and staggered toward the rebar like puppets. Wang Dahai watched in horror as his comrades died one after another. He collapsed to his knees, crying out in agony. He was beyond despair. Then the clear sound of horse hooves approached from afar. I appeared riding a black armored warhorse. Watching Wang Dahai collapse, screaming on the ground, I felt a tinge of pity. Even with modern weapons, when you meet a corpse-free weirdness, how much security can it really bring? The moment I finished speaking, Wang Dahai was controlled and walked toward the rebar, jumped up, and became the next one skewered. I dismounted, took out a white handkerchief and covered his bloody face. Whispered, "At least we've met a few times. I'll clean up Waxia for you." I took off my suit jacket, showing the rune on my chest. The Soul Reaper mark at the Nai Bridge had grown even deeper. The next second, I sensed something on my head. Grabbed a child ghost, body black and blue, belly scarred like a centipede. "You can see me?" The child ghost stared in shock, screaming out, "Even the darkest spirits from the underworld can't hide from me." "What makes you think you can?" A mix of killing intent and excitement flashed through my eyes. The child ghost's tricks. I've seen them in my past life already. Outside, the rest of the soldiers realized communication was cut. They headed in one after another. But as soon as they stepped inside, they saw the carnage everywhere. Some threw up on the spot. Fear spread fast. Suddenly, flames flashed deep inside the ruins. I swung my tongue saber, its ghostly fire burning. The blade was fierce, so much that even through the smoke, the soldiers were in shock. The child ghost let out a violent, shrill scream, sending every soldier into a nightmare. Scenes of a massacre from 30 years ago in Jiang City were forced into everyone's mind. A father who abused his family and went mad. A mother stuffed inside a fridge. A small child impaled and killed, bloody scenes one after another. This is the source of the child's ghost obsession. I don't care what grievances you have. If you hurt innocent people, you deserve to die. I shouted loudly. I activated all my divine markings. I raised my hand using my knife as a brush. Fire became my ink. I drew ancient Taoist runes. I recited a spell to drive out evil. Danju, Kao Shen, Tu Hui, Si Yu Fen. Snake God. Wheel. Destiny, nurturing, summoning. In that instant, I transformed into a soul-harvesting deity carrying the giant ghostly lotus. Dark ghostly energy surrounds me. All the control soldiers suddenly woke up. The giant lotus fell down. The child's ghost's head rolled off. The body turned to ashes. All of it was absorbed by the eye of reincarnation in my throat. The soldiers stared at me. They mistook me for an Eastern shadow deity. Everyone was tense with fear. Cold sweat poured down. I walked slowly through the crowd, carrying the giant lotus. As I brushed past them, everyone felt relieved. "Are you human?" An old squad leader asked, voice trembling. I didn't look back. My gaze was icy, filled with scenes of carnage. I said quietly, kinda. Then I turned and disappeared into the haze. Meanwhile, inside the military command room, the boss watched me on the monitor. His eyes instantly lit up. He slammed the table and yelled, "That's him." This is when General Wang interviews him in person. Find him right now. I want to invite him myself. The adjutant immediately stood in awe when he heard that. He knows my fighting strength well. It's enough to change the battle against monsters. Deep in the ruins, I heard cries for help. I swung my knife to break apart the giant stone blocking the door. Inside an intact office, more than a dozen survivors crowded together. The leader, a middle-aged man, looked wealthy.
He acted like he was in charge.
He sternly asked, "What's going on out there?" "Who are you? Which unit are you from? Who's in charge?" I scanned everyone coolly. Then I turned to leave. The man rushed up, yelling, "Stop! Shouldn't you have let us out?" Before he finished talking, a red tentacle suddenly emerged from above his head. It instantly pierced his face. Blood spurted everywhere. He reached out to me, begging for help. I walked over calmly and said softly, "Right here." In chaos, it's best not to act so arrogant. As soon as I finished speaking, the man died completely. The tentacle greedily sucked his blood. Right after, dozens of red tentacles burst from deep in the ruins. They pierced and hung every survivor in the office, drained all their blood. I looked in the direction the tentacles stretched. A fierce grin appeared on my lips. That level 2 peak ghost is definitely hiding. Everyone immediately activated their divine markings. Dark spiked armor covered their bodies. Underfoot, a black warhorse formed and charged. I held my blade and rode the horse, headed straight for the deepest part of the ruins. On the other side, Tang Wen, a civilian, got the task to recruit me. He was totally unimpressed. He lazily finished getting dressed, led his team into the ruins. Just then, a minor aftershock happened. He immediately hid under a big rock for safety. His cowardly behavior made the soldiers secretly despise him. But he had no clue. He just kept urging everyone to hurry and find me. Deep in the ruins, a giant blood-red meatball ghost the size of an elephant crawled on the ground. Countless red tentacles waved wildly. This was the mastermind behind everything. I charged on horseback and shouted fiercely, "Soul Harvest! Reverse armor, heavy injury!" I swung the fiery tongue blade hard. The meatball ghost was instantly sliced apart. Blood rained down everywhere. Huge waves of ghost energy rushed into my throat. The eye of reincarnation turned blood red from overload. I laughed wildly, feeling my power surge, looking down at my chest. My ox head and horse face mark, which used to only reach level 2. Now the lines grew thicker. It suddenly broke through its limit, stepped to level 3. I gripped the tang blade tightly. My eyes were full of confidence. In this chaotic world, only strength keeps you alive. And my journey as a divine mark master is just starting. In my past life, I believed the ox head and horse face mark would never go past level 2. It was impossible to break through. But now these signs of evolution have totally shattered that idea. All that's left is confusion inside me. I kept thinking about the strange cause. I walked around the blood-red meatball. Its remains. Suddenly, my blood-red eyes glowed. Deep inside the remains, there was a wobbly pink jelly-like thing. Normal sight couldn't spot it. I quickly grabbed a piece of broken mirror as a check. Nothing showed in the mirror. Only my blood eyes could see it. And instantly, I understood the key. I reached in and took out the jelly. It felt soft. Next second, it melted, turned into pink liquid and soaked into my skin. A surge of powerful energy exploded in an instant. My ox head and horse face mark broke through its limit, firmly reached level 3. At level 3, my pupils shrank. The black armor of ox head slowly changed into a luxurious black gold color. Fine black gold lines appeared on the surface. They all converged onto my back, forming a divine spirit shadow. Sharp horns on its head, cold eyes embedded in the armor's gaps. As if a primordial god had blessed me, I activated my soul harvester form right away. Raised the giant ghost scythe towards myself. This scythe could slice marble with ease, striking the black gold ox head armor. It just left a faint white mark. Not even my skin was hurt. The level 3 ox head's defense could hold off an attack from a level 1 soul harvester. This power made me thrilled. Next, I activated the horse face mark. Below me, the ground surged and rippled. A clear horse's neigh sounded. An ancient warhorse clad in black gold armor appeared out of thin air.
Its mane was as tough as a lion's.
Muscles as solid as steel. Its hooves cracked marble with each step. Tremendous explosive power. I gently touched the horse, finally convinced I was a level 3 divine mark master. I thought my soul harvester form would break through first, but didn't expect the basic ox head and horse face to get there ahead. This surprise is a first since my rebirth. After calming down, I gazed at the meatball ghost's remains. Now I understood the reason. That jelly, only visible to blood eyes, was a special product of killing a level 2 peak spirit, the key to breaking the divine mark ceiling. I accidentally discovered the core of advancement. I wore black gold ox head armor, rode a black gold warhorse, held the fiery Tang blade. After confirming there were no ghosts in the Waxia ruins, I turned to leave. I didn't go far when angry shouts came from the mist. 2 soldiers were carrying an officer with a broken leg. His shouting was harsh and loud. Useless. What's the point of you guys? My leg is broken. Can't you make a stretcher? All you know is to carry like this. Don't you realize it could hurt my leg more? When you trained as recruits, you just wasted your meals. This man is Tang Wen. His ankle was crushed by falling rocks during the aftershock. He still gave the soldier carrying him a hard time during evacuation. He immediately spotted me because of my striking outfit. Sir, the target is here. A soldier whispered a reminder. Damn, this guy sure likes to stand out. Tang Wen has always had it out for me. Now he's even more hostile.
He shouted directly at me up ahead.
I'm the Chief of Staff of the 5th Infantry Brigade. We need to talk to you. Sir. Deputy Jiang told us to be respectful to the target. A soldier tried to stop him. Tang Wen glared and yelled angrily. Tell me what you need me to do. The soldiers didn't dare say anything else. They bowed their heads in silence. I slowly rode my warhorse closer. An oppressive aura came over everyone. At first, Tang Wen froze, intimidated. Then he snapped out of it, feeling humiliated. Frustrated, he pointed at me and yelled, "Stop right there!" The sound of hoofs stopped instantly. I glanced back slightly. My cold, fierce gaze swept over like a wave of death. Tang Wen's outstretched hand froze in midair. Only a faint, mocking laugh lingered in the air. By the time he came to, I'd already disappeared into the mist on horseback. Tang Wen's face turned bright red. He was consumed with anger and shame.
He snapped at the soldiers. What are you looking at?
He's gone. Why the hell are we going back to camp? Meanwhile, outside the Waxia ruins, the military command was running a brutal search and rescue. The data came in. 773 survivors. Over 2,000 deceased. But General Huang spoke up. First thing he asked, have you found the Qin army? When told there was no result, he looked displeased. The crisp sound of hoofs approached. General Huang turned around. He saw me riding my black gold warhorse out of the mist. Under the sunlight, I looked like an ancient knight. I carried myself confidently. He was instantly impressed by my presence. Tang Wen, following behind, burned with jealousy. Qinju, Qinju. My dear nephew. General Huang walked up quickly. His face was full of warmth. Tang Wen immediately shouted, General. I invited Qinju, but he totally looks down on our 5th Infantry Brigade. He ignored me completely. I glanced at Tang Wen coldly. My eyes were as cold as looking at a corpse. Tang Wen broke into a cold sweat from my gaze, but he got even more worked up. General, inviting someone like him is a bad idea. General Huang ignored Tang Wen completely. He kept his eyes on me. I urged my horse, turning into gray mist. After landing, I spoke calmly. General Huang, I'm just an ordinary citizen. I don't have big ambitions, nor do I have any special ability. There's no need to invite me. Besides, your chief of staff doesn't seem to want me here. Tang Wen stumbled forward. He pointed at my nose. He yelled at me in frustration. You maniac. You maniac. I'm the one who doesn't want you here. You're the arrogant one. You completely ignored my invitation. And now you're blaming me for not wanting you. Didn't think you could twist things that well. You're something else. He relied on his connections. He's young and arrogant. Thinks he's above everyone else. He shouted at me, who do you think you are? All you can do is swing a blade. Can you take a bullet? What makes you think you can act tough in front of me? Like you were even raised by your mom. That last line finally set me off. My eyes instantly filled with rage. I swung my Tang sword straight at his neck. Tang Wen froze in terror. He couldn't react in time. But General Huang rushed in at the last second. He took the blow for him on his shoulder. I stopped just in time. The blade only cut through his skin. It didn't touch the bone. Blood quickly soaked General Wang's uniform. Tang Wen screamed like a madman. Guards! Guards! You bastard! You attacked a general. You're done. Your whole family is done. I'll have all of you shot. Before he could finish, General Huang slapped him hard across the face. It was so forceful. His cheeks swelled instantly. Tang Wen held his face stunned. He was completely dazed. General Huang held his wound. He said in a deep voice, "Young Master Qin, apologize to the general. Apologize." "You want to piss me off? Send me to my grave early?" General Wang shouted angrily. Tang Wen was furious inside, but still had to apologize begrudgingly. I ignored Tang Wen. I helped General Wang into the command room. Tang Wen heard our conversation the whole way. It made his hatred boil over. "General, you go straight to the point." "I'm fine." "All guards, stand down." That was an amazing slash. It could have killed me, but somehow it only cut my skin. It didn't even reach the bone. Your control of strength is incredible. I've served in the army for years, and I've never seen anything like it. Don't take it to heart. You can't kill Tang Wen. Hurting me is fine, but killing Tang Wen would bring you real trouble. General Wang finished bandaging his wound. He looked at me earnestly. He even knelt down, begging me to help train the soldiers. I thought my army could easily guard Jiangcheng, but in just a few days, 30+ soldiers died. That's worse than in combat. If this keeps up, morale will collapse. Just see it as your uncle asking, please.
I forced him up.
My tone was flat. As long as idiots like that don't show up again, I can help you this one time, Uncle Wang. General Wang was thrilled. If not 3 times, then once. Even twice would be great. Twice. Once. Once and a half deal? Fine, just once. Better than knowing nothing. General Huang agreed right away. He left to gather the soldiers. I walked out of the command room. I stopped as I passed the staff meeting room. There was secret plotting going on inside. It instantly filled me with anger. "Chief, are you really going after Qinju?" "Chief, you promoted all of us. We'll do whatever you say." Honestly, I can't stand that punk Qinju. Always walking around with a scowl. Acts like he's the king of the world. You even apologized to him yourself, and he still ignored you. Because of that kid. General Huang even hit the chief for him. I can't swallow that. Tang Wen's voice turned cold and harsh. Fine. Just follow Qinju. Wait for him to leave camp. Find a remote spot. Pick a good vantage point. And snipe him from afar. Before he could finish, I kicked open the meeting room door. Entered with my sword drawn. I sneered. Everyone else, get out. Tang Wen, you stay. Tang Wen started laughing wildly. He pulled out a pistol and aimed it at my head. Mocking, he said, "What? Bringing a sword to the staff room? Believe I won't just blast your head off right now?" I stayed calm, totally unafraid. Guess you've never heard this. Who the hell are you calling an idiot? Outside of 7 paces, the gun is king. Inside of 7 paces, the blade wins. I smirked. Take a guess. Are we 2 steps apart or 3? Tang Wen started to panic inside, but he still pretended to be tough. Quit bragging. Bringing a sword in here, really. I could kill you right here and now. His index finger tightened on the trigger. But the next second, a flash of a blade and a step passed. Outside the conference room, Tang Wen's confidants were still discussing. They were sure I wouldn't dare to make a move. But the next second, blood sprayed out from inside the window. Screams echoed. Everyone was scared out of their minds. General Huang passed by. He noticed something was off. He kicked the door open. He stepped on a severed head rolling on the floor. He looked closely. It was Tang Wen. His scalp tingled instantly. I stood by the headless corpse, holding a blood-stained Tang sword. My expression was as calm as usual. General Wang asked quietly, "You killed Tang Wen, huh?" I responded calmly. Explained truthfully. I was just passing through here. Heard Tang Wen plotting to assassinate me, so I entered with my sword. Tang Wen drew his pistol and faced me. In the end, my blade was faster. General Huang looked conflicted. After a moment's silence, he made a decision. I trust you, nephew. I'll cover Tang Wen's backers for now. We'll say he died in battle. Seal all the info. Just stick close to old Wang. No one will dare mess with you then. I nodded in agreement. Followed him to the military training ground. Thousands of soldiers were already assembled. Lots of murmuring. Full of doubt. They thought I was just here to look good. Only those who witnessed the Waxia Ruins battle watched me with fiery anticipation. I pressed my Tang sword against the ground. The clear ring silenced the whole crowd. My first words caused a stir. I don't have much time. I'll teach you for just 10 minutes. I ignored all the doubts, straightforwardly told the core rules of the apocalypse, just like you saw. The world is changing. Strangeness is reviving. All modern weapons worldwide will soon be useless. The world will regress to the mechanical and cold weapon era. If you want to get stronger, there's only one way. First, carve blood patterns on your body. Then, use the pattern on your body to fight the strange. Kill the strange to get ghost energy. Ghost energy activates and boosts the pattern. People gain incredible powers. After 10 minutes, I turned and left. General Huang quickly chased after me.
Begged.
Can't you teach a bit more? When time's up, the country's top brass will explain everything. I casually slapped a notebook into his hand. This thing is more useful. The notebook has patterns I drew myself. General Huang was instantly moved when he saw it. He thanked me over and over as I walked away. I rode my black and gold warhorse straight back to the Grand Imperial Hotel. Just entered the lobby and ran into Chun Long, flattering me. I cut his pleasantries off immediately. The stuff you want me to help transport. I can't help you with that. Chun Long instantly panicked, chased after me begging, Brother Xingju, just help me this one time. If you help me, I'll give you whatever you want. We agreed you'd get 10% of the reward, right? I'll bump it up to 20% now. 2 billion. Okay. I suddenly stopped. My eyes were icy cold. With a deadly aura from killing someone just now? Say another word. I'll cut you down right now. Don't think I don't know what you're really transporting. Chun Long froze in place. His face turned pale. I sheathed my sword, walked into the elevator.
He stared at my back.
His eyes turned vicious. He walked to the corner, dialed a call, contacted Qin and Nan, who I'd kicked out of the Qin family. Raised the price to 7 billion. Asked to help transport contraband. Secretly told his men, once the goods arrive, wipe out the Qin family. I walked out of the elevator. A strong bloody smell hit me. I frowned, followed the smell to push open Qin Feng's door. Saw the Qin women were safe. Finally let out a breath. The next moment, a blood-soaked figure rushed to me, grabbed my leg and broke down crying. Brother Zhu isn't dead. He never died. He always hid next to me. The person was Qin Feng. His clothes were soaked in blood. His eyes were vacant, broken, already tortured beyond recognition. I looked at Grandma. Grandma looked sad but helpless. I don't know. Xiaofeng's been weird these days. Sometimes he says there's a head in the toilet. Sometimes the pillow turned into a face. Seems possessed. I raised my hand and slapped Qin Feng hard, with full force. Finally snapped him back to reality a bit. Asked sternly, who is he? Qin Feng's eyes cleared up slowly. He clenched his fists. Through gritted teeth, the ghost who tricked me into killing Qin Jin. He isn't dead, he's been following me. From when we got back to the hotel. He kept appearing and vanishing. He kept attacking me. When I used the restroom, he'd stick his head out of the toilet. When I sleep, the pillow would silently turn into his face. Even during meals, as I'm eating, I notice the food turn into his flesh. I keep trying to attack him, but nothing works. Instead, I often hurt myself. I suspect I'm under his illusion. If I ever catch his real body, I'll tear him apart piece by piece. I chuckled softly, snatched the Tang sword from his hand. If tearing him apart could kill him, he'd have died at the crematorium already. All right, just stick close to me. I'll handle this thing for you. Watch carefully and learn. This sword will be yours when you fully recover. Qin Feng finally felt relieved. He dropped all his guard. I looked around, casually asked Qin Shaowan on the sofa. You can list ghost types, right? Qin Shaowan eagerly nodded, counted on her fingers. I think most ghosts can be divided into mental rule types, physical rule types, mental killing types, physical killing types, mental curse types, physical curse types, like Sadeko from that island. That's a physical curse type. Or Godzilla. That's a physical killing type. Mental killing types, like the Black Sunday song. People who hear it will randomly commit suicide. Mental rule types, like Pen Fairy. Physical rule types, like kneeling at midnight for incense. Or weasels asking for blessings. Mental type ghosts are way trickier than physical ones. Encountering them, it's basically a death sentence. I nodded slightly, scanned the corner of the room. The ghost clinging to Qin Feng was now fully exposed. This time, I'm breaking his inner demon for good. And teaching Qin Feng how to really fight ghosts.